Can you make money in small rural communities doing lawn care? Welcome to Sparta, population 4,300. Yes, in these small towns, you can still make money doing lawn care. There's at least 24 or more other lawn care guys working in my same territory. My first season, I was all over the place, just taking whatever work I could get. But as I started having to pay people to come along and help me, I started to realize, hey, I really got to focus on this route density stuff. And a lot of guys will tell you, man, that stuff don't work in small towns. Yeah, it does. It just takes a little longer, but you get to do it right. So what I started focusing on is the community that I live in mostly. I marketed that area very heavily. Yard signs and getting out and talking to the neighbors whenever I'm mowing a lawn. If I see the neighbor out, I might stop and hand him a card, say, hey, listen, I'm taking care of the neighbor's lawn. If something ever happens, a tree limb falls in your yard, or, I accidentally blow grass on your fence or something, hey, just give me a call. I want you to have my information. So yeah, take your time. But what we've done is I would say about 60%, maybe 65% of our main regular maintenance customers live in or near Sparta. So I've really focused all my marketing on this little town, and then I started to branch out in some of the other smaller towns, but I did it slowly. So within a 15-minute drive of me, there are 5 other small communities, even smaller than Sparta, like 1,500. I think Tilden has like 750. Coderville, I'm not really sure, but they're all like 1,500 people or less. Maybe Marissa might be 2,000. I don't know. But I started to take 3 of those towns originally and grouped, because they were all kind of near each other. I just grouped them all together in one route, and I focused real hard on my local community and those 3 little small towns that I could do it all in a day. When each town started to get to be more than I could handle, like in a day, trying to do multiple towns, I just started making that another route. But at the same time, I'm rapidly picking up customers in Sparta. And before you know it, I had an entire route of just Sparta, and I was starting to pick up more and more. So I use Sparta as my filler route, because every day starts and ends in Sparta. So usually on Monday, we knock out like 25 yards in Sparta. Tuesday, we'll knock out 5 or 6 yards in Sparta, and then go do our Tilden and Marissa route, because those 2 towns only had about 6.5 to 7 hours worth of work. And if we can go knock out 4 or 5 in town before we even get started on that route, that puts us in a good spot. We're making money pretty much 5 minutes after we roll out of the shop. This year we started focusing on another small community near us, because our other routes were getting filled out. We were getting more and more work on the south side of Sparta, which is the direction we got to go to head towards Stillville. So the route I'm doing today is my most spread out route. And the reason why I'm still working this route slowly is I've got some big jobs to do today, and I've got some small jobs to do, but I was able to add that to this smaller route to basically fill out the day. I'm not going to give you all my numbers. I don't want to share what each customer's paying, but this route here will make $1,100 today. I will show you some of the different properties we serve. The first stop coming up here, it's a farm property. It's on our way out of town, headed towards Stillville. This gets the truck making money literally 15 minutes after it leaves the shop. So this is our first stop. I'm not going to show you a whole lot, because I want to respect my client's property, but I'll kind of show you a little bit. As you can see, it's a farm. One thing that I like to do for these farmers, because generally farmers, they just want the grass cut. They don't want weeds growing up around their stuff. They got a lot of equipment around. They really just want you to manage the weeds and take care of the grass, and they don't want to have to worry about it, because they're usually busy enough. So one thing I offer this particular customer is I try to do as little trimming as possible, so I can just stop here real quick, knock it out. So, you know, farmers always kind of got, as you can see, there's trailers and spreaders, and I don't know, there's a plow or something over there, and they don't like them, so they want you to keep that trimmed. But rather than trimming, because I mean, to trim around everything here, I would spend an hour and a half, 2 hours here, easy. I said, hey man, why don't, instead of me trimming every week, I can just come in and knock your grass out real quick. Why don't everywhere we would trim or spend a lot of extra time trimming, we just spray weed killer once a month. So rather than him pay me every week to trim, he's paying me once a month to spray weed killer, like knock down whatever weeds are there and spray. So we, you know, usually we charge them a per gallon rate. So usually once a month we make an extra $130 on this lawn just by spraying, and I don't have to do hardly any trimming when I come, if any. So we'll get started here. So now we're at property number 3. I knocked out that farm. I got into Percy, which is just a little bit down the road. Knocked out a quick 10-minute job. And now we're on property. This is pretty good sized property. It's a residential property, but they got several lots here. So all that field over there, all this field, and then of course there's some stuff over there, and then there's a house. Here, this is a pretty good paying job. We had to drive a little ways to get here, but we made some money on the way. So we're gonna knock this one out, and I'm gonna show you some more of how our day goes. Okay, so we're done with that one. We're headed to property number 4, 4 and 5. There's a couple small ones on my way through Stillville. We're gonna knock out. Now I'm aware this route, the route density for the first part of the day, it kind of sucks. I'm still building this route out, but that's why I'm taking about, I think like 8 or 9 properties, one of which being a very big property we do, and adding it to this route so I can fill the day out as I'm building out my territory in this community. So Percy and Stillville, they're kind of the same town. They're like literally just a half a mile away from each other, and they're both tiny little towns, so I consider them one town. So we're gonna bust over to Stillville real quick. We'll be there in a couple of minutes, and we'll knock out 2 more as we're working our way towards Sparta. We're kind of making a loop around. We come in from one side of town, we're gonna come out on another side of town and hit some on the way back to Sparta. So here we are, we just finished up property number 4. So I left the shop this morning about, I think 6:45. So I've been at it just at 3 hours. It's 9:15 till 10 now. So in 3 hours, I'm not going to tell you what every customer's paying. As of right now, solo, my little business has made $365. 3 hours in, solo. No weed eater man, I'm the weed eater man. So this just kind of gives you an idea of how you can still be profitable. You just got to charge appropriately, you know, and just stay after it. We're going to take a short little drive over to our next stop. This one's kind of a cool property because I was mowing it for the last couple of years, and then beginning of this season, the property owner got a hold of me and told me, hey, we're moving, we're selling our house, and we don't need you to mow our grass anymore. So I lost this property, but then like a month later, a friend of mine said, hey, I bought this house over in Stillville, I need you to start mowing the grass. And when he gave me the address, I said, boy, that sounds familiar. How do I know that property? Well, we showed up, and sure enough, it was the house the property that we just lost because the client had moved. We're getting it right back. So that's kind of cool things that happens in these small towns sometimes. But we're just going to take a quick jog over here and get this place added to this will be number 5 on the day. Quick little $55 job. I'm not going to show you anything there at that property just because you don't need to. I mean, there's enough people mowing grass out there. Okay, so it's 11 o'clock. I just finished up lawn number 6, and we are exactly at $500 revenue for the day. I'm headed back to Sparta. I got 7 more to do over there. I'm about halfway through my day. I got 1 big one to do over there, and then 6 just small ones. But it just kind of shows you, you know, how you can make a pretty profitable solo route if you work it properly. I'm not going to go through every single other property with you. I'm going to show you the one last big one we do. That's just kind of the timestamp for the day that's going to, you know, make this a hyper profitable day. I'll show you that. But my goal is to show you that, hey, just because you live in a rural area doesn't mean that you have to, you know, struggle. There's ways to be profitable, even if you know, just have to cluster it up. I'll show you this last property when we get over to that point in the day. But I'm hoping you're getting something from this, you small town guys. I hope you're getting that, hey, you can be just as profitable as those other guys. You can run solo routes and still have a very profitable business. So check this out. I'll snap back here in a minute when we're out on our bigger property. Welcome back to Sparta. Now we're on the other side of town. So here's the big one for today. We mow this 6 acres. Just got finished with that. Got it just over about an hour and a half in this job. This is gonna be the big payout for the day. We still got 6. I actually picked up 1 more for the day. So 6 or 7 more on the day, to give you kind of an idea. All right, so it's like 4:15. I'm on my last line of the day. This one takes me like 5 minutes, but I hope this kind of helped you to show you how you can still make some living in some rural areas cutting grass. I'll show you a little bit more of our more dense routes on a later video, but I hope this video helped you guys. Thanks for riding along with me, and you guys have a great day, and God bless you.